Right. Hey everyone. Basically just coming up here to talk about my trading for this week. What were some of the trades I took? What were some of the trades that I didn't take? And basically how did it work out? So last video I already talked about UJ. I already talked about how I got into um a trade um basically all the way up at this high and just basically stopped me out for a buy. That surely definitely was buying probably around right around here. So I was thinking it was gonna come like that and then keep on going up like that. Didn't. It's all good though. Basically what it did was 100% retraced. And I remember when this happened, I saw it, I was like, you know what? I think I want to buy UJ or US oil, so I just didn't get in, but I did see it and that was the opportunity to get in, but definitely didn't. So basically, after that happened, I thought it was gonna continue. Like I'm saying, I'm thinking this is an uptrend at this point. Thought they were just gonna do something like this, retest it, and then keep on going up and break like that. But didn't do it. Did something like this, and I remember here, I think I got into it for so. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about. I just basically been getting in. Yeah, this is probably my entry around this like price range, and it didn't really work out at all. The reason probably why I took that, well, the reason why I took it was just basically because I already predicted, I already assumed it was selling. I already kind of assumed it was selling based off of how it was. So like just me looking at that, I'm like, oh yeah, we in for a sell. Like all we have to do is let this candle complete and close lower. And then on top lower time frames, it just wasn't going for it. It just wasn't giving what it needed to give for a continuation. It basically just bit off of this support, I think, and then basically tested. Went back up. And quite frankly broke this high. Um, so yeah, why that didn't work? I see now why it didn't work. Especially when I look on the daily. When you're talking about in a reversal, like you have to allow it to set up. And right now where price is, we market structure. Come on, like guys, we just created a higher low. So like it very well could again, like we said, buy next week and continue to go up. How bullish the dollar is, we don't need to be looking for sales at all. So that's one thing. So on UJ is still a buy. Looking at this weekly because so what, we didn't get in this like this previous week. We could have something else present itself. So again, just looking at this weekly, how it closed, it is some buyer's exhaustion, especially because you look right here. But how this candlestick closed for this weekly, I mean, literally, it was more wick than it was candle, more body. It was more wick than it was body. And that's basically saying that we have some seller's exhaustion as well. The sellers have not been able to close to break this previous level of this weekly time frame. So again, that's basically giving an indication that this basically just was a retest of previous resistance, creating support. So like I said, looking probably to go here in the next couple of months or month, reach here at this level. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, overall, UJ has been something I stopped looking at. So I just need to go and analyze more of like what exactly is going on. I'll say right now is straight up a buy. Like, so when I look at it, I don't need to be confused. So that works out. Yeah, it's definitely a buy. So just trying to get in on the lower time frame and match the time frame correlation can be difficult. And just looking at now, because it is the beginning of this year, like this is the best time to consider an entry for the top of the month. That or the 15th. So it depends on where you are in market structure. And right here, we just created again a higher low. So we're looking to push past until we have an area where, like I said, this thing pull back about 800 pips. So we're definitely looking to break this high. What would be the best area to get in? Again, this month is looking super bullish based off the previous month. So it might not be a lot of room for, how you say, it might be a lot of consolidation. It might be some sideways movement, kind of just how this was. It really didn't break out for real until we had this pullback. So it could be a pullback of some kind, sideways movement, pullback, and then continuation. So I don't know. I'm still kind of iffy on it because it's the beginning of the year. So it could certainly pull back. So we just kind of don't know. But in my opinion, it's pulled back enough. It's pulled back enough. All it has to do is continue to go forward. So US oil. I love oil. This is my baby right here. So this week was quite, I already talked about how we could see buys, or basically I'm looking for buys on US oil in my previous video. So again, this is a bullish trend. We have, this is the low, you know, we are at the previous trend basically. So right now I'm looking at this 12-month time frame. And guys, if you don't know how to turn it to the 12-month time frame, you can just go right to this downward arrow on the top of your bar and just keep on scrolling until you see days, and it's under 6 months. So yeah, I love 12 months because it kind of lets me know if this candle is all BS. And we know how market structure works. A lot of the times this is a bullish variation that's creating, like, because this is such a large time frame, you don't want to wait till next year to get in. You don't have to. Technically, it's already giving you some areas of exhaustion, like in this area. That's why we kind of knew at this previous year that we probably could buy, because not only did it show exhaustion on this yearly candle, it showed exhaustion here, went all the way up, couldn't close, but was still able to close bullish. So that says something. Basically, it's in the middle. But yeah, this new candle high, open high, just didn't sell at all. Basically kind of giving you like full confirmation that it's looking for sells or buys. So again, on that 6-month time frame, same thing. I know it's a lot on my chart right now. I'm confusing. But yeah, same thing over here. We don't have anything but this basically previous support that it's been creating. It's been trading off this support for, like I said, multiple years at this point. So with that being said, this is the best area to get your buy-in. Now, when we get up to this area with these boxes, we are looking for price to either break through it very aggressively or for it to reject. And it will just have to see what it will do. But it's highly likely in this first 6 months that price could trade very aggressively because last year it was crazy. So we'll see. We'll see if we're able to either get a retest at this area here, something like that. We want to do something I would want to see. All right, so moving on, let's get to the trade I took on US oil this week. Um, so all right, so yeah, we all seen the beginning of this week open. Um, again, it was crazy. Basically never even it just opened at 6 o'clock and started to buy very aggressively. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so yeah, price market opens at 6 p.m. where I'm at. So yeah, like this was Monday. Like I was telling you, it just basically opened with nothing, no way to tell me, what's going on. So when it first opened, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to enter at 6 o'clock. I normally don't enter at 6 o'clock, but a lot of the times, if it's an opportunity, you gotta kind of go after it with the market. So I'm learning that too. So yeah. So after I basically went into the market, and I've seen that price was going up very aggressively for, let's go down. This is probably where, yeah, this is probably what happened. I was like, oh crap, bro. I'm getting left behind. Let me even just mark this off because I want to go on lower time frames, which is what I do when I do stop. So yeah, so again, I took that one USJ buy. It stopped me out. I still had profit though, so I didn't lose much money. But let me show you where I did lose money, and it's always on oil. So again, we are like the bar. It's not right here. So this was Friday, and again, we have an area where I was like, okay, like we're clear for buys. I just didn't know for certain. But after this, because I thought this candle was going to be super bullish based off of this retest, and I didn't get a lot of bullish momentum, I was kind of iffy about my buy. So I thought that price was going to retest one more time. But to give everyone that opportunity, it probably would have been unwise for the brokers. Well, not the brokers, but for market makers or whatever, these big liquidity providers is the best word. So like boom, like this is again Friday. Let's see what happened. But it basically immediately went up and traded up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Why is it not stopped? So boom, like I was super scared. I'm like, oh, I'm getting left behind this 7 p.m. and I didn't get in at 8. I normally get in at 8 o'clock. I normally get in at 8 o'clock, like, because that's when I guess a session has started officially, Asian session or whatever. Like, it's actually officially in full force at 8 p.m. But normally that's highly liquidative when any type of session for US oil could be liquidity. So I was feeling good about the 8 o'clock, but this is what happened. And I kept on creating. And when I seen this, I was like, I should go in for the sell, but I didn't. So basically was chilling, right? until nah, I think I did get into a buy at this. Sorry, hold on. This is 8:30. I definitely didn't catch that. I think that's what happened. I had bought somewhere here at 10:30 thinking that we just had a little baby retest. I had bought here. I remember I got into the market at 10 o'clock. And then price basically pulled back against me. And I was like, wow, that's tragic. Woo, look at that. Look at that. And so what you doing when you see this? You think, oh wow. So, but I wasn't even up at this point. This is 3 a.m. Who was up at this time? People that was trying to make money, and I'll normally be up at this time, but yeesh, I was not. 100% retrace from the 6 o'clock entry here. And that's what I could have saw, but I did not see. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I'm gonna have to refresh this thing. Sorry, my computer's glitching out. Might have to edit this out. Yeah, so I guess the app just basically stopped for some reason, but let me continue to share with y'all what's going on. All right, back to it. All right, yeah, so back to where we was at before. We still just analyzing basically how I even got into my entry or my order, which was tragic because like I wanted to get in here is why I'm saying this. Like I was going to be in this market for a decent entry, like because this was like a 350 pitch. It was crazy. Like this week would have been like super saucy week to have been successful trading. Like listen to this. 400 pips actually, dude. So like, yeah, anybody that caught that, you're lit. You're lit. I would have been lit. But we're gonna have some better weeks as we get better at our craft. Again, I'm glitching out, yo. Might have to do the video later. Yeah, so again, um, we basically had this, I was supposed to be going backwards. We basically had that 100% retrace, which was fire. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna just have to get in at the retest of this like high. So like cool. I wanted to get in, but this is what happened. My broker is Sway Markets. Anybody that has Sway Market right now, I mean, who was it that recommended this? It's horrible. Anyway, but my broker is doing some weird litigation stuff ever since 2025. Everybody knows about the broker situation, how you can't have a broker if you live in the United States, you can't have a broker that's not regulated. So obviously none of my brokers I've been messing with is regulated, and only a few, all the regulated brokers don't allow you to trade US oil or any other indices or any type of other commodities like that, which just sucks. So yeah, I using sway markets. I hate sway market. And basically They cut me off, bro. They started a new platform that's called Liquid Charts, and it's so stupid. It's just stupid because certain times I log into the app and it says we cannot connect with the broker. We can't load the data from the broker or the market. I don't know. It says some fancy word, but that's what it means. We can't like connect with our broker, whatever, and it's just like glitching out. So I was not able to get in for both of these retests because they were both crazy. So that was like a whole day. Nah, it was like probably until it got up here. I wasn't able to get in. I did see this retest, but again, it was at but as early in the morning, so 5 a.m. I was probably going to work. So at this point, I missed it. I missed it because I was getting ready for work. So whatever. I was pretty mad about it, but at the end of the day, I knew I was going to be able to get in again. Um, and then I seen another opportunity here, and I never set an order. I was going to set a order limit, but I never set an order limit. And I literally put it here, and this is what happened. I just saw this red candle. So I was like, I know market is gonna come back to retest this high, but it might not come all the way back. So I basically just did it based off the from here, from the retest that happened at the beginning of the week. So yeah, for that part, let's play it. Basically came and tested it, touched it exactly. It was crazy how it touched exactly up there. So it would have been possible, but I wasn't active and my mindset wasn't right after I took all these L's. And I was just thinking about how I lost and was thinking about how I was a loser. And just my mindset wasn't good enough to trade at this particular time. This was on Thursday. So again, market going up hundreds of pips. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So at this point, what was it? 5 p.m. 5 a.m. Yeah. At this point, I see the market is basically being exhausted, super exhausted. Let me look down at the lower time frames. So I'll mark these little yellow areas off for a reason, basically because these were again going here. I think it was at this point. I think I did here to here. Not that one right. Yeah, that'd been something like this. Because this was my main fib at the time before it broke structure. So basically, it's really messy right now. Sorry, guys. But basically, this was the relative low, and this was the relative high. So like, this was the lowest low it came to, basically having broke. This was the relative high that basically came, tried, but it couldn't, came, tried, couldn't, couldn't. But at this time, it's basically the relative high at everything. So I had marked that out and I put my fibs. And I'm telling you, it hit exactly at the fib levels. That's why you gotta be kind of accurate. And I'm learning why I don't need to necessarily move a major fib on a 4-hour. Well, maybe I could do a film on a 15-minute and do a real quick analysis. These are my TP areas, and the same kind of like, all right, plays out for everything else. So again, that was where I got my TP. So when price came here, I was like, oh, boom, it was hella aggressive. I was mad confident that we was gonna hit TP2 based off of what my mentor said. Q Banks on his new video, Tick by Tick, fire. Join his mentorship. Go ahead and look at him. Anyway, but I was like, oh yeah, we definitely gonna get a retest of this resistance of some type for a continuation. So I was all too confident. So as we got to that area, I was just kind of waiting for some type of reaction at this area. So let's just kind of see what happened. And it did exactly at that area. So for me, I think I don't know what happened. I think I basically was just like looking on lower time frames. Yeah. I was looking just on lower time frames. This wasn't right, but so far, lost on UJ, lost on oil because I entered the wrong area around this candlestick area. So USDJPY was not really a loss. It was more like a break even because I just made it out barely to cover my spread. So break even on UJ, loss on US oil that basically took me halfway out because I was really over leveraging. I was doing a 0.04 and basically maxed out my whole account with the leverage. But yeah, that's probably why I wasn't able to like I didn't even want to trade and then did 100% retracement. And I was just like, wow. Then I couldn't trade here because my broker didn't let me. And then here, I don't even know. I think I was getting ready for work again. Sabotage myself again. And like I said, this was the only area I was able to actually capitalize on my strategy. So at this point, I basically went ahead and did the 100% retrace and took that thing. It was kind of a bad entry, but I mean, it is what it is. Like that was my entry. It wasn't bad. I had to just wait and be patient because this was probably like 20 pips. I had to really be patient. So then once it came up, I was like, shit, we up now. And it was so relentless. Like that's why I was like, shit, like this is a bad entry, but at the end of the day, it's still an entry and I can just like ride with it. And so like we was good after that. We went all the way up. And I didn't really have to worry about it because I knew I was waiting for it to at least break this high or enter into the zone. So what happened was I seen it was at the zone. I remember these candlesticks forming and I was like, yo, it's still super bullish. I don't even know if we're gonna have exhaustion. It might just continue to go up. So just looking at how all these candlesticks are forming, I did see it break out my zone, but then immediately I seen like a reject candlestick on the 15-minute. So this was this candlestick. This 1 15-minute candlestick, I was so ready for this fucking sell. I bought, I sell, I sold right where the line was. The red line. This is where I got in. Basically, let me show you on the 1 minute because I always enter on the 1 minute. I seen this retest and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait for it 100%. And it never did. So I was like, forget it. It created a bearish engulfing. Let me get in right after it. So I got in right after it. Boom. It was cool. Like, kind of over leveraged my account, but it was fine. Like, I was up 20 pips. And then I seen I seen this basically retest was happening. So I got in, but it didn't basically play out for me only because I don't like certain about the pips coming up. It basically just went straight to my order. No, I stayed in. I think I stayed in. All in all, this one I took here, I don't really like it. I didn't do a good job with how I got in. I know that it was a valid order. It was a valid order. It was valid. It was super valid. It was no reason why I couldn't take this counter trend. But the reasons why I think I fumbled the bag so hard was where's that? Oh, it's all the way up here. Crazy. I wasn't confident in my order. So like when the order came about, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether or not it was just I was trying to counter trend. So that kind of like blew my whole. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, whether or not that was right or not. So that part. I over leveraged, so that was probably the number one reason why I was unconfident, because I was in way in my head, and then I'm triggering the counter trend, so it made my negative thoughts happen. I'm gonna lose this trade. I can't afford to lose money, so all of that was like flowing through my head. Um, I wrote this on my phone. Then I was like getting in before my setup even finished or even presented itself. Like this supposed to be the A, B. I never seen the C, and I definitely didn't see the D to break up this, like a break. So like, at what point would I shouldn't have got into this. So let's see how it continues. But I mean, it's still not a bad little trade or whatever. But at this current moment, based on the higher time frame, I don't think it's ready for necessarily a sell. Now, if I was to sell it, which I am going to sell it to a certain point, because I know how US oil plays, like this big bullish candle is going to have a retest. And I'm thinking it's going to at least retest at this red line, but I'm hopefully it retests at this purple one. You know, it's really out. I don't think it's going to retest this. But just according to market structure, we're trying to get a retest of the order block. So like, that's the order block at this candlestick. Well, I mean, technically, this is the order block. So you have to go on a lower time frame to get a more accurate version. So like, technically, this is the order block that created everything. It's highly unlikely it will retest that. But if it does, hallelujah, praise Jesus. But then it would have to create. It would just be a weird wick on the monthly. So I don't know. So we'll see. Biggest thing is I'm not going to be too focused on the sales until I see like this happen, and basically it can happen here where it just like sells regardless, and all the way from here, like this is 60 pips, so like all the way from here, I was literally up here, it would basically be here and then continue down. That would be cool, but I'm not really going to focus on it until price shows me it, and then I can capitalize on it. And just basically the goal is to basically close out on some of these goals for this year, and try to catch at least like 250 pips. But it would be nice to catch, you know, more than that. But yeah, 250 pips for next week would definitely be nice. And I know I can do it just based off of how oil is trading, and we'll see if it's in consolidation next week or if it's going to continue with the bulls. It's based off of how this week was. It's probably going to be bullish. But yeah, so far, this is what I have to say. I'm going to work on my confidence. I'm going to work on not over leveraging and those negative thoughts. And I'm probably not going to stop over leveraging, which is crazy. But I just feel like that's my style of trading, and that's my edge. I'm not afraid of the risk, but I don't have the skill. So we'll see how this works out in the future. Again, like I said, I'm like to go balls deep with my account, but sometimes it doesn't work because my skill set is not where it needs to be. So I'm gonna continue to get better. Look at how it is right now. This weekly, that's another reason why I was in for the sell, because this is at basically an order block right here. All it has to do is sell, come back here, and then continue 265 pips. But anyway, we'll see how market opens on Sunday, and I might get on a Monday morning, or basically after 12 a.m. on Monday. We'll see if the market is giving me that. All right. Bye, guys.